It's an exciting day for Cowboy football. The second signing date is a little bit different than the first signing date for us. We thought we'd done the majority of our work as far as scholarship signees in the first signing date. However, there was work to be done in the second one. And so our goals and objective were to make sure that we allocated these scholarships in the second signing date to meet some more of the needs that we had. I think this whole class is a really reflection of a lot of hard work from our assistant coaches and the recruiting department as well, and then also our players and our administration. And so we're really pleased with this group. Today there'll be 5 guys, I believe, that will sign today that have signed, and Ian's going to go through those guys with you in a couple moments. But what we did, we felt like we had a couple baseline needs that were going to be important for us to address. One was going to be wide receiver, another one was going to be corner, another one was going to be tight ends, and then we started looking for, okay, who's going to be the best players after that. So we're well pleased. We had a good strategy. We executed a game plan, and I think you're going to find that this class is really going to prove to be pretty doggone fruitful for Cowboy football for many years to come. So at this time, I'm going to bring up Ian, and he's going to talk about the guys we've signed. Then I'll come back up to answer any questions you may have.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with Xavier Carter, cornerback from Manville High School. He's a guy we watched a lot of senior film on his entire season, to be exact. Really liked his speed, competitiveness, and the physicality he played with. Coach Grant did a great job recruiting Xavier and getting to know him as a person. Coach Bowl was able to go into the school in January, visit with Xavier as well, really get to know him, what makes him tick. We brought him in for his official visit the last weekend of January, and he committed while he was here, which was really cool to see. Kid was pretty excited about that. So we're excited about Xavier and feel he's going to bring real speed to our football program. Moving to offense, we got Joshua Cobbs, a wide receiver from Wagner High School in Texas. Joshua caught our attention throughout his senior year. He's a long athlete on film that runs really well, very competitive. He has great ball skills, very good at making contested receptions. The physicality and really the strain that he plays with as a run blocker might be the most impressive part of his game. So being from San Antonio, he actually spent some time with Levi Williams, who's a quarterback, that was here. So then they know each other pretty well, and so we're excited to have Josh. Feel he's going to be a great fit for our program. Staying with wide receiver, we have Tyrese Grant from Dangerfield High School in Texas as well. Tyrese, another guy that we kind of caught our eye going into his senior year and throughout his senior year as we were adding depth to our recruiting board. Really like the fact that Tyrese played on both sides of the ball. He's very competitive. Moves very well. He's explosive, can get in and out of his transitions very well, and is really a natural pass catcher. We feel like he's going to bring a little bit of a different element to our wide receiver room. He's a great fit, and so I know we're excited about his future here. Moving on to tight end, we have Colin O'Brien from Saddleback College in California. So Colin was originally a quarterback that has since made the transition to tight end for us. What really caught our eye with Colin was his size, athleticism, and really his raw upside as a football player. We think he's got a bright future, and the sky is the limit. He visited us the first weekend of January, and actually roughly about a week later he enrolled in school here. So he'll be here for spring football. He'll be going through that with us. I know we're excited to see him out there and see what he can do for us. Lastly, we have Connor Shea, a linebacker from Monte Vista High School in California. Connor is a guy we kept our eyes on through his senior season. Plays with great effort and physicality. He's smart, runs very well, and feel like he's got some athletic potential to tap into on top of that. Credit to Coach Haug and Coach Aaron Bowl. They did a great job recruiting him, getting to know him, and he's going to be a great fit for our football program and a good player in the near future for us. So with that, I'll give it back to Coach Bowl.
All right. Well, as you can see, a really complete class. Guys have worked hard, and we feel like we were addressing a lot of the needs that we had. So I'll be here to answer any specific questions you may have on the group or any specific questions you have on each one of these individuals. I personally did those visits, and so I've got, quite a bit of a background on each one as well. So at this time, any questions that are out there in the audience? Yes.
I'm curious about Colin O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really highly ranked junior college player. Didn't necessarily put up a lot of numbers. I think he only got like 6 passes.
Right.
So what did you guys see, and where did you see it if you didn't really have a lot of film?
Well, first of all, there wasn't tons of tape on him. He chose to transition from quarterback to tight end. Their offense does not highlight tight ends a whole lot. He grew. One of the things that helped us was, during that recruiting process, for him to still be able to go through the process and yet make sure he's on our campus, which he is right now. And so the signing date, not the signing date, but our start date in the semester certainly helped. But we gleaned through a lot of the tape that was out there, and the reason why he didn't have a lot of the catches because they were in what we call 10 personnel. They didn't operate at a tight end very much, but he's an excellent player and really had some great options that were out there. So we're pleased to have him, and we've had good luck with guys who have been quarterbacks that have transitioned to tight ends as well. If you look, whether it be Jacob Hollister. I'm trying to think of the other guys that we've had that have transitioned well at that spot. So it's been a good transition for us. Yes.
Craig, you guys have 3 tight ends returning. You signed 1 in December. Is there a certain specific need or skill set that he brings to that position you think you're missing?
Well, we always try to find a couple guys that are move guys and then guys that have the physicality to block a defensive end at the point of attack. And so you're looking for a couple different combinations there. We feel like he's got the ability to run, but certainly he's going to be a big, strong guy. And so we're trying to balance out, as we utilize what we call 12 personnel quite a bit to have 2 different type guys in there at times. Yes.
It was important for you guys to get a wide receiver, but how important was it to get a guy like Josh Cobbs, who's 6'4", 200 pounds, and get a guy who can really
Right.
go and get it?
Well, we're looking. I think you'll find a couple of our wide receivers next year are going to look different than what we have had. We were able to redshirt 2 guys, and Josh is going to fit that mold as well. He'll be a strong physical guy to be able to go up and get the football and then be a physical blocker. And what that does also give us the ability to take a guy that's a wide out and move him inside and match him up against some linebackers. And that really can give you a big advantage in the run game. But make no mistake, he's got great ball skills. We watched him in basketball practice. He's on a really good high school basketball team down there, and so we're excited about having him. Other questions? Yes, Michael.
A little bit off topic, but do you have any update on the defensive? Obviously a few weeks ago there were some defensive
You bet.
coaches moving. Do you have any update?
Yeah, I'm not going to announce that today. Tim Harkins is going to have an announcement on 3 positions tomorrow. Yes.
Craig, you mentioned some of the bigger receivers you guys signed last year, obviously bringing in a guy like Josh. Bigger receivers, has that been an emphasis in recruiting the last few years to get a bigger body that wide out?
Yes, it is. What we find in the Mountain West, sometimes you can gain some mismatches when you have a big physical body and deploy that guy. Some of the cornerbacks or some of the defensive backs in our league sometimes don't have the stature. And so you're trading off a little bit at times with speed for size. But I think we'll have 4 really big receivers, and then we'll integrate some other guys who are faster slot guys. Yes.
A guy who's apparently going to be a walk-on, grad transfer, Nick Knoll.
You know what? I can't comment on him.
Oh, okay.
But thanks for asking.
Sorry.
I can no, that's okay. Nobody get no blood, no foul. I can say that we're in the process of recruiting. I know I can say that. Any other questions? So don't get. I'm not going to bite anybody's head off or answer anything. Any questions from the senior part of the gallery over here? The senior citizens.
When I look at the 24 guys you brought in, do you see any of these guys that you think might immediately step in?
Yeah, there's going to be. I'm not going to name a couple guys, but this is a unique class, and certainly sometimes positions dictate that. Typically, skill players have the ability to play a little bit sooner than linemen, but I do think there's a lot of different guys within this class at all those positions that are going to have an opportunity. So our baseline of what we look at is, 1, does the guy have the physical ability? 2, is there a positional need? And then 3, do they have the emotional maturity to come in and play? I think we got a pretty good idea on that, but we'll sort that out during the course of fall camp, and then some of it's going to be dictated by, our health of our football team as well.
Do you have any others that have enrolled early?
I think we have two guys. two guys. Wyatt Eckler is enrolled, and the tight end enrolled also.
Those would be the only two early enrollments
Correct.
you got?
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, we're pretty far along in school right now. But we've had two, and it's good to have those guys here. Yes, Davis.
Planning on filling another scholarship in this class, but
Mhm.
are there any of these that you can count back to last year, or is it strictly 25?
No, we chose not to do that. I know some schools will, you can do different things and manipulate the counting of the system. It still comes down to taking from one class to the other. We felt like we had a really good plan, and so we chose not to do that. And so we have one scholarship left, and, I think we'll make an announcement on that in the future date here. Yes.
Did the departures of the few coaches a couple weeks ago, did you feel like that affected anything at all?
Well, it always affects things a little bit, but we were pretty far along in the process. And also, along with that process, we built up a lot of good relationships. So I don't think it disjointed us a whole lot. You're going to have some, but it certainly was not like it was in the old days. I mean, when you had one signing date and coaches would depart, we were pretty far along and had these guys pigeonholed pretty good. Yes, Davis.
Signed the 2 receivers and 2 linebackers in this class. Are you happy with those numbers? Would you like to get wanted more? Or?
No, we hit the mark, and that's not some rhetoric I'm giving you. I mean, we wanted to sign 2 at each spot. There were certain guys that we had prioritized. Then we had a pecking order, and those guys were at the top of our list at both spots. So we're really well pleased. Really well pleased. Yes, Davis.
How do you feel about this receiving group going forward when you lose 3 starters? And I know you still have some guys that are part of the rotation, but a lot of younger guys going in there.
Well, it's a great opportunity for these guys, and during the course of the fall, some of them served on the scout team, and they, in comparison to past years, I mean, they really stress our defensive backs, and then along with that, when we played them in the game, they did some good things. I think their size, because they were so tall and long, it's going to take a little bit of time for their bodies to catch up with their length. However, this offseason is going to be able to do that. And I think to supplement these two receivers we got from Texas, you get out on the map and look where Dangerfield, Texas is. I mean, it's out there in the middle of nowhere. And I've always known this, so there's guys in that area that can run. I mean, really run. And so I think we're going to be able to stretch the field. I think we're going to get some mismatches, and I think they're going to be physical as well. And we're going to need to have a good year out of our receivers. I think much was said, and rightfully so, about our lack of production in the passing game. I thought we got a little bit better at the end, but we're going to need to throw the ball better and complete the ball better and make more plays, and particularly make more plays that are contested. And we think this next group is going to be able to do that.
The fact that you had to wait till the second period here to get your 2 wide receivers?
You know what? Some of that came down to the guys in Texas were in playoffs, so they're going to go a little bit longer. And so, and they were really, really upfront about that. We knew Josh had committed to us, but he said he was going to sign on the second signing date. And so we counted on that, and he held with his commitment. And then Tyrese, we knew about him, but he kept playing. And so once we were able to get down there and get in the home and get in the high school, it really made a difference. So quite frankly, I was a little bit nervous about it, though. You would have liked to have all those guys in the signing date that was early, but we weren't able to do that. But we were able to make the appropriate adjustments.
You lost the one commit at the last minute to Washington State,
Mm-hmm.
Chow kid.
Yeah.
Did you pretty much feel that way when he didn't?
Yeah, I you know what, when he committed, sometimes guys commit and you try to explain to what we really mean by the commitment. I think his idea of a commitment was, I'm going to say, I'm coming here, but I'm going to keep on looking around, and we don't really count that. And we knew it way back then, and we had plans accordingly. And so he went to Washington State. We had kind of moved on to Plan B pretty doggone fast. We're well pleased with these guys we signed. Yes, Davis.
Craig, how do you plan to handle the quarterback situation in the spring without Sean, and when do you plan to actually have him back?
He may be able to do some activities at the tail end of spring, but it's got to be, really limited without any kind of contact. We're going to go through, Levi will get a lot of reps this spring, which is going to help him. And then we'll try to have Sean come along physically in the course of the summer, but we're not going to rush Sean along just to try to get him out there to get some repetitions. We want to make sure that, he's able to come back and be more than just serviceable. Yes.
I know you guys were working on getting Trey Smith that medical redshirt. Did that end up going through?
Yes, it did. Yep. Yep. So we're excited about him. You should be pretty deep at the running back position. Yes,
I know
Davis.
you said the players never lost their position on depth chart to an injury. Whenever Sean does get back fully, will there be a competition between him and Levi?
You know what, you've stated a policy that I've had as a head coach. I don't remember telling you that policy, though. I don't know if I did.
Yes,
Okay, I trust you then. You're sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, all right. You can testify on that. Okay. You know what we'll do is we're going to play the guy that is going to be in best position. We'll go into fall camp. There'll be some live work that we'll do. We can simulate some things that put a quarterback under duress to be able to split those two guys. I think it's going to be great, healthy competition, and we'll have two very, very capable quarterbacks that are great competitors, and they provide a lot of leadership.
Could you see using them both in the same game?
You know,
Like you did towards the end of the year?
typically, we have not done that, but Coach Vegan and I have talked about that, and we're certainly more open to that. That there's a skill set that both of them have that we think bring a lot to add to our offense. And then along with that, when you have two guys that have played and that they know going into the game that they're going to play, even if it's a limited role, they're even though a backup quarterback pays great attention to detail, the fact that he knows that he's going to go in at a certain time, that really sharpens his sword. So, we're kind of leaning towards doing that. We'll see how those two guys perform during fall camp. But I think we're in a really good position, and both of them are mobile, and it gives us a lot more flexibility. When you're looking down that play sheet and you're calling a predetermined quarterback run, you get a little bit nervous when you don't have much behind them. And the fact that both of these guys show really good ability to run at times that are predetermined and then at times that are unscripted, that really opens up our playbook. Now, we would not like to have them run as much as we have, but the dual threat of both of those guys, I think warrants that both of them are going to get a really hard look, and that may also mean I doubt that we'll do I don't know, Steve Spurrier one year ran quarterbacks in every other play. I doubt we'll do that. But I think that you could see both of them play.
The fact they're dual threats, too, it doesn't tip off the other team as to what you might go to offensively?
Yeah, there was without question this last year when the other quarterback came in, people began to adjust their call sheet. They still had to prepare for different things, but when you have two guys that are able to do a lot of the same similar things and stay fresh and stay really engaged, it's going to help.